Good afternoon, y'all. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'd like to welcome you to today's Super Tabata HIIT circuit. It's back to being super. Thanks for asking. We're gonna return to the extended format today. So 4 rounds of moves, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, and we're gonna do some supersets. That means we're going to be doing a strength move, and we're going to pair it up with a stabilization move that's going to continue to work the same muscle group. I put the workout in the description. If you have some medium weights that you can bring to today's workout, go ahead, bring them. If all you have is heavy weights, bring those. If you just have light weights, bring those. If you got a little something that you can just hold into your hand to increase the challenge, awesome. If you don't happen to have weights, but you have bands, I'm sure that you are an experienced band user, or you can always put in the chat, how can I use bands to get the same challenge that y'all are doing for some of these dumbbell related moves? And mostly it's just holding the bands in your hand and creating some resistance. We're happy to chat about it with you more. We're gonna start class at 4:30 on the dot with a nice little warm up. Make sure you grab yourself some water. Highly encourage you to put on some music if that is an opportunity for you at home, just to help you find the beat and keep moving. As per usual, the moves today are not going to be super cardio challenging, but I encourage you to just find a challenging, consistent pace for the work. Doesn't that sound great? I think so. I think it sounds super great. Okay, so we got 3 minutes. I'm just gonna walk around a little, be out of my chair, because holy guacamole. I don't know about y'all, it is a Monday here in DC. It is gross outside, and I'm feeling a little tired, but that's okay. It's okay, we're still here. We're gonna do our best today. I'm gonna focus on some hydration, because that's always a good old wake me up. All right. BRB. Two minutes. 2 minutes till the party starts. We're gonna make it. A really small apartment, so oh my gosh, I'm back. All right, it's 4:30. It's 4:30, everybody. Welcome. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm really excited to guide you through today's Super Tabata HIIT workout. If you have some medium weights, go ahead, bring them. Bring any kind of weights you have, even if you got some soup cans or laundry detergent bottles. Get creative, y'all. Find the challenge today. So hopefully you have gotten up out of your chair. You're just starting to move your body in any way. I encourage you to come and do a nice little lateral side to side step tap. Let's draw those elbows back. Pull that belly in. Still getting that same lateral side to side step tap that I love to start out with. Just changing the focus a little bit more to open the chest and engage that upper body. In fact, start to swing those arms just a little bit more. Make sure that belly still stays pulled in tight. Keep moving. Can you bring a smile to your face? Think about what you came here to today's workout for. What are you trying to bring to your life? Be so proud of yourself for coming. Let's go ahead and get those arm circles. You can move at a slower pace if that's what works best for your body today. But the more that you challenge your pace, change the directions, the more you're going to get that heart rate up, burn a little bit more energy, hopefully feel a little bit better. Just a couple more. 3, 2, 1. Plant those feet on the floor. Draw that belly in. Reach all the way up towards the ceiling. You can take a slight bend to your knees as you reach all the way down. Whoa, it seems so far to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Up, down. For 10, 9, 8. Reach as low as feels right for you. 6. So it's okay if you don't touch all the way down to your toes. 3, 2, 1. I feel like I definitely missed a couple of counts in there. Let's come to the back of the mat towel. Do one more move in our warm up, and then we'll really start warming up as we get into the exercises. Let's get our inchworm on. So hinge forward once more, and then walk yourself out into a plank. You can move nice and slow this first time. Extend those shoulders over your hands, palms, then send it back into a modified down dog as you walk yourself up. Arms come up overhead. Let's add 4 mountain climbers this time. Walk yourself out, shift yourself forward into the plank. 4, 3, 2, 1. I know you didn't expect me to say 4 for each leg. And press yourself up 2 more times. You can move a little slower if you need to. Just getting these 4 mountain climbers each leg with those shoulders shifted forward. You don't have to do any other mountain climbers today. You're welcome. The last one. Come on down. This time, let's go ahead and release those knees down towards the floor after your 4th mountain climber. Press into your hands, palms. Separate those shoulders just a little bit, coming into cat. And then carefully release that chest down towards the floor, coming into cow. 2 more times in each direction. I know I quickly work to bring your heart rate up, and then just taking a moment of bringing that heart rate back down. Last time up, I see I need to tuck my shirt in like a total winner. Like a total winner. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I hate tucking my shirt in. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I moved to the West Coast after college because I hated coats and pantyhose. And I couldn't deal with those, so I moved to the West Coast, and then I came back, so coats became a thing. But no to pantyhose. All right, let's go ahead and get right into our workout. We got 2 different moves that we're already going to do in the first round. The first move that we're going to do is a nice narrow squat, and if you have some weights, you're going to bring some weights. I'm going to hold my weights up here at my shoulders just to encourage that upper body to work a little bit more than I find that it does when they're down by my sides. So coming down into a squat, bringing the weight into your heels, a nice flat back, so no rounding down, taking that lift of your chest, and then pressing up through your heels. Arms come up overhead, forward overhead press. You can keep your palms facing towards you. You can turn your palms in towards each other. You can take a nice little Statue of Liberty Arnold style press and rotate it at the top, whatever works for you. That's move number 1. Then I'm going to move to some lighter weights for move number 2. Make sure that you ground your feet flat to the floor. Take a slight bend to your knees, and we're going to lift our arms up into a Y, just to shoulder height. Make sure that those thumbs stay pointing up towards the ceiling. You got 40 seconds of work, just 2 times of each of those moves, 2 of the squats we're going to do, and then 2 of the slightly more, it's not really balanced, but like whatever. Let's do it, y'all. We start in 3, 2, 1. So 40 seconds of work. Weight stays in your heels, hips go behind you. and then you press up overhead. This is not our only squat of today. So if you struggle with those squats, think about making it a little bit lower. Focus though on really keeping the weight in your heels and pressing through your heels to lift yourself up. Make sure you're not taking a big overarch of your back as your arms extend overhead. That can mean that the weights that you're using are a little too heavy for you, in which case you can always hold on to 2 weights with one hand. And just get rid of them completely and maybe move a little bit faster. Almost there. Oh, we made it. All right, take your first little break. You can completely put those weights down. You can shake out whatever part of your body feels a little bit tired. All right, and now get yourself set up. Let's do it as soon as that timer beeps in 3, 2, 1. Same move. Maybe you can go a little bit lower in your squat now that your body's starting to feel a little bit more warmed up. But I want you to make sure that your knees are in line with your second toe. They're not going past your toes, and you're pressing up through the heel, not bringing the weight forward to the front of your foot. Last of the 2-legged squats that we have to do today. You got just 10 seconds to go. Keep those eyes forward. Yes, all right. Next up we have those Y raises, a nice scapular raise to the front. You can give yourself a thumbs up. Keep that thumb on top. If you find, 3, 2, 1, if you find that you're really compensating in that back, then go ahead, take a little stagger of your stance. If you need to, if standing with your feet side by side is making your back smart real funny. Make sure that those shoulders are rolled down and back and your chest is open. So you're not hunching forward as you raise. No hunching forward, tall and proud, with that belly pulled in tight. Like you're trying to hold a quarter between those lower ribs. One of my friends this weekend was like, I don't understand what you mean by knitting your rib cage together. Take a break. And I was like, is that because you're a man? Like, you know, it's like knitting towards each other? I don't know. He's like a super dude's dude. I'm gonna try a slightly heavier weight this time. You can always lower it down. I feel so bad for being sexist about that a second ago. 3, 2, begin. But I just figured if he had no idea what I meant, that other people might also be like, what do you mean, knit that rib cage together? I just mean that frequently when we go to open up our chest, that our ribs tend to flare out while we do that as well. But if you take an extra moment to really focus on drawing that belly in the same way you would if you thought someone was going to come and give you a big punch in the belly. You bring that rib cage a little bit tighter together. Obviously, I'm not a knitter. I have no idea how to knit. I can only crochet. One more, y'all. Great work. Yay, shake it out. You get another 20 seconds to yourself. And I'm going to talk to you about what our next move is going to be, because we don't have a lot of time today to get everything in. So we're going to bring balance into play right away, if you can, with a single leg Romanian deadlift. For your opposite leg, if you're having trouble with balance, you can always try just having a toe down on the floor behind you so that you're not putting too much pressure in. You're going to reach down. You can take a bend of your standing leg if you need to. And as you get to about the knee, you can lift yourself back up if your balance is really great and you can reach all the way to the floor. Awesome. But after 2 of those Romanian deadlifts, we're next going to go for a squat down. So really making sure that you bend that knee. And again, you can always have that toe on the floor behind you for a little bit of stability, or feel free to use a couch behind you to actually sit down with one leg and then stand up, pressing through your heel. Use a couch, use a chair, use whatever you got going. So pick which leg you're going to get started with. I'm going to start with my right leg on the floor, so it looks like. And then when we get back to this, in 2 rounds, we'll do the left leg on the floor. Starting with that right leg, grab hold of 1 or 2 weights. I'm going to use 2 weights in my hand. Let's get that single leg Romanian deadlift. 2 rounds through before that squat. Start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right, so we're standing on our right leg and you're hinging forward at the hips and sending your glutes gently back behind you. I like to think of the Romanian deadlift like in the movie Can't Buy Me Love, when the little brother is hiding in the car and the one dude needs to get some wind removing pose on, and they back him up to the car and the little brother really regrets hiding in there. Ooh, my glutes are already starting to feel it through that glute and hamstring. Once again, make sure that you have lots of weight through the heel of your standing leg, and remember, you can always bring that other toe down to the floor. Awesome. Take a moment, shake it out. We're going to do that same leg one more time before we move on to the squat. Three, 2, 1, begin. So depending on how your balance is today, how you're feeling, you might be able to move through this pretty swiftly. If balance is a real challenge for you, you might be moving really slowly, especially to focus on keeping the weight in your heel. Maybe you notice a little wiggle wobble of that standing leg ankle. Oof. Oh my gosh. Squeeze that glute at the top. You got 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. Great work. All right, we're gonna keep working with that same leg, and this time we're gonna come into that single leg squat. So you might need to put your toe down on the floor this time and focus on bending the knee, but still sending your hip back so you feel that engagement of the glute. Remember, you can use a chair and begin. If you don't need to have your opposite foot down on the floor, up to you if you want to have that leg in front of or behind you. I think it's way easier to balance if that knee is bent and your foot's just lifted off of the floor, or if you have that leg gently behind you. Still focus on making sure that as you go down, the weight's in your heel and your knee's not going past your toes, so you're actively sending your glutes towards the back of the room. Remember, you don't have to go down super low. Oh my gosh. 3, 2, 1. Great work. And if nothing else, you're still balancing on that one leg. One more time through on the same side. Then we're gonna get down on the floor. Shake it out. 10 seconds left before we get started. Start to plant that foot down. Set yourself up in the proper position. Abs in tight. And begin. So squatting down and pressing up through your heel. Try not to compensate too much also by shifting over to one side. Try to keep those 2 hips as close to in line as possible. And having that back toe down on the floor can help you to find that evenness so that you're not, finding dominance in one strong place and, oh my gosh, allowing weak muscles to stay weak. The more that you focus your eyes on one spot, the easier it is to balance as well. So keep that in mind, balance and breath. Yes, you made it. Let's come on down to the floor. Put those weights down. You don't need them for the next round. We've got some planks coming up. Planks, if you can do a full plank, awesome. If you need to be on your knees, also awesome. We're gonna do 2 rounds of planks with shoulder taps, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more and you need to work in tabletop instead of a shoulder tap, which is probably pretty easy, find that forward reach and get a little bit more work in your back. An option if you're in plank too, or you can just work on stabilizing through the core and getting one hand to lift. After 2 rounds of that, we're going to go for toe taps. So tapping those toes out to the side. If you want to go for plank jacks and really bring up your heart rate, you do it. I wish I could, but I can't because I'm on the 2nd floor. All right, y'all, planks start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So first round is those planks with the shoulder tap or challenging yourself for that forward reach. Remember that separating your feet a little bit wider can help you find a nice stable base. And you don't have to be a hero. You can be in a plank and do a shoulder tap. You can have your knees down on the floor and do a shoulder tap, or go for this forward reach. Get a little bit more work through those lats. Try not to let your torso twist, or let those hips twist, and keep those hands palms right about in line under your shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Wasn't that some amazing, distracting conversation? Personally, I thought so. All right, we're gonna do one more round just like that, making some motion happen with our upper body, and then we'll bring the lower body into play. 3, 2, 1, begin. Now, I know I usually have some serious wrist pain. I've really been working a lot on doing some wrist relaxation and strengthening and whatnot. But if you need to, you can always try the same thing on your knuckles to take a little bit of pressure off of your wrist. Maybe give yourself a little row action, which can be a little easier to put your hands down, or just a nice little tap of the chest. Or if you had to come down onto your forearms, I'm sure you found a way to make it work. You got less than 10 seconds left to go. And those forearms are always an option as we come into our, take a break, our next round of plank, where our upper body is going to stay planted on the floor. Feel free to relax those wrists a little bit more. Next up, toe taps. Either tapping those toes out towards the side, or maybe you give yourself a little sachet plank action, or just cross body action. Have fun. Begin. Stay with it. That's the key. So if you find yourself really tiring of doing these step out toe taps and you need something a little bit different, you can always go for a little glute squeeze and lift, because you're still getting a toe tap in. And if you need to come down on your knees, you can do the same thing down here on your knees. And yeah, I needed to come down on my knees for at least a second. You can be here in a check mark doing the same thing. You can hang out in tabletop. You got just about 5 seconds left though. So how can you challenge yourself today before that break, which you can now take? Yay! So I get it. You might not be able to do 4 planks in a row for 40 seconds. Neither can I. So take a second, put those knees down on the floor, take a quick break, and then jump back in as fast as you can. You got to challenge yourself last time through right here. Finding either a plank jack or a step out. You know, I figure if I put in like 1 jump every blue moon, the neighbor downstairs, whew, feel that. Cannot hate me. Can't hate me too much. Right. So push yourself. Find that point where you have got to put those knees down to the floor. And then challenge yourself to start again. 3, 2, 1. Because that's where the difference is made. When you don't give up. When it gets hard, it's okay to take a break, but you come back in as fast as possible. Grab some quick water. We're about to do the other leg of our single leg Romanian deadlift into a squat. You can thank the timer for that little extra break, because we're going to come right into it. So this time we got that left leg down on the floor. If you're doing the same leg as me, we're switching it up. We're going to get 2 rounds of single leg Romanian deadlift. You can always touch that toe down for balance. If you're still challenged, go for a double leg Romanian deadlift. All right, some sort of Romanian deadlift starts in 3, 2, 1, begin. So remember, you can take a slight bend of that knee. The straighter your leg is though, the more that you're gonna work through that hamstring. Find that one spot, focus your eyes, and be that awesome water drinking bird. So as your upper body goes down, if you're extending that leg behind you to help with balance, great, but they both move at the same time. Keep that belly pulled in. Keep that chest open. Whew. 5 seconds left right here. Stick with it. Awesome. Take a break, 20 seconds to yourself. You can shake it out. You can tap it out. You can take a little walk-see. You can say, why are there so many emails coming through? So many emails. Okay, second set, here we go. Don't be like me. Don't be like me and check your emails while you're working out. Unless you're like, I'm gonna jump right back in. Did you see how I literally ran back here? That's right. Press through that heel, coming down the weights in your heel, coming up the weights in your heel. That's right, y'all. Maybe one day that'll be in a trivia and everyone who's come to my workouts will know. You will know. Ooh, getting tired. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Next up, we got that single leg squat action. Single leg squat. So remember, you can have your toe down behind you if you need to. You can use the couch. You can use a chair. Do what you got to do. 3, 2, 1. But really actively work to reach those glutes back. Even more than you did for that deadlift, because you're actually sitting down so you feel like, I can't sit down anymore. And maybe it's just a teeny bit, and that's okay. But look down for a second, especially if you have a mirror nearby. Make sure you're reaching those glutes back and that your knee's not going past your toes. Yay. Oh my gosh. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh man. Okay, take your 20-second break. Walk around. Be your best and baddest self. Come on back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Same leg, begin. Squat and press. Oh my gosh. If you're feeling wiggly wobbly like me, put that back toe down, but put as little weight on that back toe as you can. See if you can start to hover it off the floor. We're halfway through. Keep breathing, keep moving. Final 10 seconds. Dun, 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 dun. It's the final countdown. You made it. Oh, all right, we're gonna stay standing for this next move. I'm gonna need to switch to a slightly lower weight. We're gonna go for a standing back fly. If you find that you're really challenged while standing, that it's really putting a lot of strain on your body, on your back, instead of standing, you can always kneel down and do the same move. The more upright your body is, the easier it's going to be. The more that you find this forward fold and hinge, the more challenging it's going to be. So we're going to go for 40 seconds with slightly bent elbows, squeezing those shoulder blades together with your amazing flat back, because you're amazing. And then we're going to get down on the floor. And if you can come back into that push-up position, I hope I didn't say there were no more, because I guess I lied. We got a renegade row. If you do not want to do another push-up, you can always just alternate between rows while you're standing with the same awesome forward fold that you're going to have for your back fly. All right. I separated these two moves because I recognize most people can usually lift a heavier weight when they're doing their row than they can for their flies. So you can challenge yourself at the end of this by grabbing your heavier weight and getting into your row. We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So that's slight bending your knee. Core pulled in nice and tight. Shoulders released down and away from your ears, and eye gaze stays down on the floor. On the floor right in front of you, control on the way up and on the way down. You can even take an extra second Squeeze at the top. Really focus on that strength stabilization. Make sure that you're not just letting momentum play at today's party. Awesome. 20 seconds to rest. I recommend releasing those weights from your hands and shaking it out just a little. Less than 10 seconds till we get started again. So set yourself up for success. Don't wait for the beep. Anticipate it. Belly in, begin. Remember, if you hinge forward even more, it's going to be a little to a lot harder. To keep that flat back, to keep the rounding out of your back, pardon me, and also to really work to find that squeeze and move with control. You're more than halfway through, and you can hit the floor, hit the floor, hit the floor, or stay standing for those alternating rows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to come down here to the floor. I know I'm not quite ready for a full push-up in a row, but I'm going to try at least one. And if I need to put my knees down, I put my knees down. If it hurts to have your weights on your hands, you can always alternate which weight you have the hand in and have the opposite hand on the floor. Look at that, look at that, look at that. I could have used a heavier weight right here. Again, not the most comfortable. But as you can see right now, I'm demonstrating just alternating. Maybe you move a little bit slower. But I want my wrists and my hands, palms to still feel good. Four seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Yes, we got one more round just like that. One more round just like that. And then we get to turn over onto our backs on the floor. So if that push-up position of any sort is not working for you, you can hang out right here in tabletop as well. Just draw that elbow back, begin. And you can still practice pressing into the opposite hand palm on the floor. Work on increasing that grip strength and stability through the wrists. Don't just let those weights slam down to the floor. Make sure that belly is pulled in. We got 20 seconds left though. How can you challenge yourself? Maybe you just press up into a plank for a second between your rows to bring that ab challenge back to the party. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm so proud of you. 20 seconds to yourself. Shake it out. Grab some water if you want to. And then roll over onto your backs. Next up, we've got a chest press. Chest press. You can hang out with your glutes on the floor with your knees bent and not put any extra stress on the, oh my gosh, hiccups, on the lower half of your body. Or you can challenge yourself to remain in a glute bridge during this next one. As you come into that glute bridge, work to keep your knees stacked on top of your heels. And if you get tired in this chest press, don't stop pressing. You can always switch to alternating arms. Your choice if you want to go for a close or a wide chest press. You know, we got 2 rounds, so I think I'm gonna do one of each. What about you? Decide right now, because we start the first round in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So remember, you can keep this back down on the floor. You can keep it glued down and supported on the mat as you really work to just press through your chest. Really think about using your pecs to make this happen, or press into your heels, into the balls of the feet, and squeeze those glutes, lift up into a glute bridge. And then still really work to find that press through your knuckles. Imagine like you're pushing a force way heavier than whatever is in your hands, and you're finding the press through your knuckles to push it up and make it happen. you're in this glute bridge, great work. Lower yourself down, take a moment. I'm going to switch up my arms this time to go for a wider gripped chest press. Still pressing up towards the ceiling though. Not a fly, a press. You all ready for this? Good, begin. Again, if you need to, you can keep that lower back down on the mat with that belly pulled in nice and tight. Work on really finding that press so that you're making the motion happen with the chest muscles. And then if you want to, you can press up. Keep that upper back on the floor as you come into your glute bridge or hip thrust. Keep pressing up right above that chest. Yes, lower down. Roll yourself over. Next up, we got push-ups. Push-ups. What can you do? How can you challenge yourself the most in your push-up? If you need to be in tabletop, great. If you can be in a checkpoint, if you can do your toes, begin. At some point, maybe you lower yourself down on your knees and you can press yourself up onto your toes, lower down on those knees. Oh, my elbow. But make sure that you're lowering down. Everything comes down in a line. Everything lifts up in a line. We're not doing the worm. If you find yourself doing the worm, come on into tabletop. Draw that belly in. Oh my gosh, elbow. And then work to release yourself to the floor, letting your, not really your head, but think about letting your chest lead, but your head is kind of ahead of your chest. I just don't want you to stretch that chin out. Awesome. Take a quick little break. We got one more round through to push yourself. Push yourself. What time is it? Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. We got one more round of abs right after this. 5, 4, 3, 2, push-ups. Lower down. Maybe press yourself up to halfway for a second. Full push-up. Halfway. All the way down. Take that pause to really work to increase the tension. And also to challenge the stability part of everything. Oh my gosh. We got 10 seconds left. Do something. Keep it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! 20 seconds to yourself. I'm going to take a nice stretch through the shoulders and child's pose during this break. And then if you want to grab a quick sip of water, you can grab a quick sip of water. Not too much though, since we're going to be working those abs. Let me show you what's coming up for our last strength move of the day. We're going for a weighted dead bug. We've done this party before, so with those knees bent and your arms up overhead, opposite arm, opposite knee as you extend. I find if you really, oops, sorry Fred, I find that if you really press through your foot, as opposed to point with your foot, it's a lot more challenging. So if you need to, point with your toes, make it easier. If you're looking to work yourself a little bit harder to engage a little bit more of the leg, press through your foot and allow those toes to flex back towards your face. And then for the second 2 moves, we're gonna work a little bit harder by going for a double leg, double knee. I can't even remember what it calls. I'm tired, y'all. Awesome. So legs are going to be extended, arms are going to be extended. Everything comes in. You sit yourself up. Everything goes out. If you can't sit yourself up, knees come in, shoulders lift up off the floor. Yeah, that sounds right. You don't have to sit yourself all the way up. And then everything goes out. So inhale, come in. Exhale, extend out for our double leg stretch. That's what it's called. So first, dead bug. So a little single leg weighted stretch. And then double leg. Unweighted. Starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin. In reverse tabletop, opposite arm, opposite leg with control, so don't just slam anything down towards the floor. Where is the limiting factor for you? If these legs seem too easy, make sure that you're not bringing those knees in all the way towards your chest. If you keep your knees stacked at or a little further away than your hips, you're going to keep a constant challenge on those abs. Keep your lower back glued down to the mat. And keep moving. We should be close. Yes, we made it. All right, we got one more just like that. And then we'll go for that double leg pull. Pull and press. La, 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 la. 10 seconds till we start. Our second dead bug. Lower back down on the floor, begin. Keep it up, you're so close. Less than 2 full minutes of work left to go today. Make sure that lower back is still down on the floor. If not, draw those knees in closer to your chest to allow that lower back to stay down on the mat. Be smart for your body today and take a break. Put those weights down. Done with the weights. Next up, we've got that double knee pull. So relax yourself down on the mat. Ooh, I'm going to give myself a little lower back massage, circling those knees, reminding my lower back to stay down throughout this next exercise. And begin. Arms are extended overhead, legs are extended. Press your lower back into the floor. Come up and draw your knees to your chest. And then exhale, extend. Inhale, come around. Exhale, extend. Inhale, open to around. Exhale, extend. Straight. Inhale, open. Exhale, straight. Now, if you need to, if this is too hard, you can always just extend one leg out at a time. Inhale back into that circle. Exhale into your extension. Awesome. Take a break. Just find a way to keep moving. Maybe you even come back into the dead bug, to taking it a little bit easier on yourself. This is our last 40 seconds of work. Go ahead, extend those legs, bring your arms up overhead. Take that inhale, draw them in, exhale, extend out. You can always kick those legs up a little bit higher towards the ceiling to make it a little bit easier on that lower back. Reach towards those outsides of your heels as you round yourself up. It's super. Thanks for asking. Awesome. I noticed my lower back starting to come off the floor, so I'm going to just be smart and switch towards a one leg kick. Yes, and we're done. Cool. From here, I'm just going to drop my legs over to one side. Let's start to come into some stretches, and then we'll sit ourselves up. We'll grab a quick sip of water, and then we'll say, hasta mañana, my friends. So just hanging out in a reclined deer pose right here. Getting a nice stretch through the legs. Bring those knees back up through center. Drop them over to the other side. Oh, feels good. Just works to start slowing that breath down. Just about 3 more breaths right here. Take your time, make your way back up to your feet. Grab yourself a sip of water if you would like to. Okay, now that we've made it to our feet and hopefully you've had some awesome high quality H2O, Go ahead, bring that right leg forward. Send your left leg back. Take a little bend of that right knee. Press through your left heel. Keep those hips squared towards whatever it is that you're facing, and feel a nice big stretch along the back of your right leg. Sorry, left leg. Interlace your fingers and stretch them down towards the floor. Feels so good in those shoulders. Take one more big inhale. And on your exhale, step your feet together, opposite. Go ahead, send that right leg back, press through your right heel, work to bring it down to the floor. Take that generous bend of your left knee, square those hips towards the front leg. Take a couple big breaths. This time, interlace your fingers, press those hands, palms towards the front of the room, tuck your chin towards your chest, separate those shoulders. On your next big inhale, step your feet together, send those arms up overhead, press your heels into the floor, relax your arms down by your side. Awesome. Go ahead, kick your right leg forward, slightly up your left, and take a generous bend of that left knee. Send your glutes towards the back of the room. Feel a big stretch throughout the front right leg. One more time. Especially if you have those toes flexed up towards your face, and change opposite side. So this time bringing the left leg forward, right leg slightly staggered behind it, pressing into the right heel, bending that knee, allowing left toes to flex up towards your face. We're keeping them down on the floor to minimize the stretch a little bit. Awesome. Go ahead, bring both feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale. Relax and release yourself down towards the floor. Keep the weight in your heels. Bend one knee and then the other. Get some movement in your hips and your glutes and that lower back. Take a moment, shake your head. Yes. Shake your head. No. I got a little confused about what yes and no were right there. Open your feet just a little bit wider. You can either heel toe your feet further apart or generously separate your legs. Walk your hands all the way over to that right leg. Go ahead, bend your right knee, straighten out that left leg, and then back to two straight legs. Just gently bend and straighten. Get a nice stretch on that inner thigh. One more time. And then walk your hands all the way over to the left side. Shift the weight into your heels. Bend that left knee. Find that big stretch through the inner thigh of the right leg. And then extend back to straight. Bend. Extend. One more time. Bend. Extend. Walk those hands back to center. Take a generous bend of your knees. Transfer your hands to your thighs. Drop that right shoulder forward. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, drop your left shoulder forward. One more time, inhale, right shoulder comes forward. Maybe look over that left shoulder big time. Take a big inhale, left shoulder comes forward, look up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a little cat-cow right here. Suck your chin to your chest. Exhale, release, come deeper into that squat. Chin to chest, find your rounding. Come into that squat. One more time, find that rounding. Find your squat. And then slowly, gently roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Heel toe your feet back together. Take a big inhale. Stretch those arms up overhead. Draw your right arm down towards the center line of your body. Inhale back up towards the ceiling. Draw your left hand down like you're drawing a bow and arrow right up towards the sky. One more time each side. Little standing spine twist. Opposite side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Bring that chin back to neutral, and then exhale. Stretch your arms out. Find any movement through the shoulder complex that feels right for you as you relax your arms down. Yay! And bring a big smile to your face. Make sure that you take some time to drink lots of water. Let's get one more quad stretch in here. Go ahead, bend that left leg. Point it down towards the floor. Can you point that knee behind you? Oh, open up that quad and that hip. How could I almost forget? especially now that we just opened up our shoulders a little bit more in the stretching. Maybe you can even kick that heel away from you, find a little bit more engagement of your back in the bend, and then gently release opposite side. Go ahead, bend that right leg, put your knee down towards the floor, start to find that opening of the hip and the stretch in the quad. And if it feels right, you can start to kick your heel away from the glute, coming into a gentle little final back bend here. Take one more big inhale, and on your exhale, release, shake it out. Yes, now we're officially done, y'all. I hope everyone had a great time today. Let us know. Can't wait to see you all again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.